Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Fubara lawmakers feud throws rivers into turmoil. Cybersecurity levy to tackle crimes and terrorism. More food items, drugs, educational materials to be exempted from the VAT. EFCC to arraign Sirika, daughter, son-in-law for 4.135 billion naira fraud. FG sets next year completion date for Abuja Kaduna Kano Kasina Road. And troops pull out of Ukoma community. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay, I'll start with EFCC is set to arraign former Aviation Minister Abubakar Sirika for alleged corrupt practices involving about 4.135 billion. He's to be arraigned along with his daughter Fatima, his son-in-law Jalal Sulehama, and a firm, Al Burak Global Investment Limited. So EFCC says it's charging them for alleged consultancy contract fraud for Nigerian Air, which is over 1.3 billion. Alleged corruption related to the contract for apron extension at Katsina Airport, about 1.4 billion. Alleged gratification of 1.3 billion. And according to the EFCC, some of against the section in the Constitution, all this, but it says the charges before them are as follows. Hadi Abubakar Sirika, while being the Minister of Aviation between 2022 and March 2023, he used his position to confer unfair advantage upon Tianero Nigeria Limited, whose alter ego Professor Gabriel Tillman, who was his associate, and also they said he had conferred undue favor also on Al Burak Global Investment Limited, alter ego Fatima Hadi Sirika and Jalal. So that company was actually being his daughter and her husband were actually the ones behind it. So he was giving undue advantages to this company, and still there was no, as we know, Nigerian Air. So they'll be appearing in court for this. How sad, that we our corrupt practices, we drag our whole family, everybody, and everybody's embarrassed. But I hope that we're able to recover all our money.
All right, another story, Nation.
Okay, so I have more food items, drugs, educational materials to be exempted from VAT. I think the federal government is really trying to cushion the economic effect on its citizens. So they said large number of food items, medications, educational materials, and other items are to be exempted from value-added tax. The federal government plans to streamline taxes and improve the business environment. The Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, led by Taiwo Oyedele, at a policy exposure and impact assessment session, said the series of proposals were aimed at streamlining Nigeria's tax system, reducing burdens on businesses and consumers, and ultimately stimulating economic growth. He also said there's now a committee which he discussed other proposals to reduce companies' income tax rates, increase exemption threshold for personal income tax, while a central focus of the proposal is a shift towards a more socially sensitive VAT regime. So they just want to remove VAT from medications, educational items, and food, some of the food items.
That should help.
So when you go to buy drugs at the pharmacy, just make sure you check out your receipt and check if the VAT is 0.00.
Okay, so after nearly 3 months of the murder of the soldiers and the displacement of the people of the Ukoma community, the soldiers have now left and they can go back to their house. So the governor announced with happiness that they can now go, that he has spoken to the soldiers have agreed to leave, and the displaced persons can come back to their community. He's very happy, and he was very, very grateful to the president, and grateful to the chief of army staff, and grateful, and just grateful, and was thanking.
I think he has his community back.
Exactly.
Which is good.
How's the investigation going? Do we know?
They didn't mention the investigation, but they said they called the soldiers, the headquarters, the defense, and they said that they moved out on the 6th of May. Wow. But that they will still have troops patrolling.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the presidency yesterday said that the cybersecurity levy that is trending, everybody's talking about this cybersecurity levy right now, is the hottest topic in Nigeria. that's been introduced to tackle crimes of terrorism across the nation. According to the nation, lost about 275 billion naira, approximately $762 million to crypto crime, cyber crime in 2022. It also claimed that this levy is what they have in Rwanda and Ghana. Specifically, many people have resisted it. I mean, Labour Party, organized civil service, organized the
CSO.
The CSO, that's the Coalition of Northern Groups, actually. TUC and other groups have actually come out to completely discredit and say that it's not time, because of the hardship Nigerians are going through, it's not time for any additional levy. But the federal government has said specifically that the act, the new act, the Cybercrime Act of 2024, is meant to protect the nation's economy from complete collapse. It's not targeted at Nigerians and citizens. Those criticizing the act are not very aware of what it's the rationale behind it. He said that apart from that, there have been about several SIM swapping attacks. Companies like Flutterwave, a leading African fintech company, has faced several allegations of security breaches in recent months. So these are part of the things they're trying to stop with this levy, because the money gathered will be taken and given to the National Security NSA and the domicile at the CBN to help fight cyber crime. So they need this money to fight cyber. If not, they will not be able to combat a lot of these attacks.
So it's like us paying for our gateman or something.
Something like that.
For our security.
When you pay for the gateman and you pay for account maintenance, there is mechanic inside the bank.
Everything. All charges.
Then you pay for POS this and the transfer of that. Come on.
Just too much.
It's a lot.
Too much.
Yeah.
FG plans fresh audit of 2.7 trillion naira subsidy claims. Police probe e-money over 1.2 billion naira dispute with Lagos firm. Abducted editor resigns after newspaper apologizes to Gbajabiamila. Pro-Fubara speaker emerges as PDP rejects impeachment calls. Detained journalists, protesters storm office, the force headquarters.
Okay.
The 3 states demand $501 million loan repayment suspension, and police to go after illegal POS operators. Okay, let's take one story.
Okay. Let me go. We have the Chief Executive Officer of Emi Cargo and Shipping Services Limited, Emeka Okonkwo, popularly known as E-Money. He's under investigation by EFCC, and it has to do with an alleged 1.2 billion naira dispute with a vehicle dealing company, Autocall Limited in Lagos. So the story is, he does like clearance of vehicles that have been imported, and this company had reached out to him, and he cleared their vehicles. And they said this happened, I think, 21, 22, and they haven't received their vehicles. They never heard anything back from him. And when they finally approached him, he said he has sold the vehicles. At first, he did not tell them what was happening, so a lot of back and forth. That he has sold it because the company was owing him money, and also alleged that the chairman of that company had asked him to sell the vehicles. The chairman says there was never a time he told him that, and that he should show evidence of that conversation. And so that's where they are. Why didn't you ever hand over the vehicles to them, and were they owing you money or not? But that's it.
Okay, that's going to be a very short program. We'll come back and continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.